Celestia slowly forced her eyes open, the Alicorn groaning from a massive migraine. Her vision was still blurry, but she could still make out the familiar sights of Luna's bedroom. The spell that had imprisoned her mere moments ago was gone, leaving only a small trace of magical energy in its wake. Luna was sitting in front of her, a grin of triumph on her face. "Oh, you're up already? You looked so cute when you were asleep." The princess was back on her hooves in moments, her body still shaky but seemingly unharmed. "Luna, what did you—" Celestia froze, her mind registering the change in her voice. Whatever Luna had cast had knocked her pitch up by a few bars. Her vision had cleared enough to see her crown and other ornaments lying next to her, each quite a bit bigger than before. Then she got a better look at her sister. She now towered over her. 1,000 thoughts ran through Celestia's brain. "Oh my gosh, what is this? What spell was that anyway? Did she shrink me? Make me grow? Maybe it's an illusion. She just messed with my depth perception. Yeah, that has to be it. No, that can't be it! She wouldn't go through all this for something that small." Luna trotted past her dumbstruck sister, stopping in front of her perfectly prepared mirror. "Oh, Sally, you really need to take a good look at yourself. You'll be amazed at what a little magic can do." Celestia dug her hooves into the carpet in response, while her eyes darted left and right in search of an escape. No luck. The room's one window was barred, and Luna was between her and the door at the moment. In any case, she wasn't willing to look at herself in the mirror right now. Whatever Luna had planned, it was obviously a revenge scheme, and if she was getting back for her banishment... Luna could see her sister's fear-induced paralysis. Her voice practically oozed patronization. "Oh dear, is Celestia scared to move? I never thought anything could make her shut down. Well, leave it to big old Luna to keep this show moving along." Her horn lit up yet again. A small cloud formed underneath Celestia's hooves, and she soon found herself being telekinetically hoisted through the air. She didn't struggle or squirm, she just lowered her head and closed her eyes. Even Luna was taken aback at just how subdued she was. Maybe the spell worked too well. This won't have the right effect if she just sits there and takes it. The princess was gently set in front of the mirror, next to her overly eager sister. Luna wrapped her foreleg around her sister's neck, grinning from ear to ear. "There, all better. Now, let's take a good, long look at the new you." Celestia's eyes were fidgeting to stay closed. One side of her wanted to see the truth, the other to just hope this was a bad dream and would end soon. Luna scowled at her continued indifference. "Oh, come on. Don't you know how hard it was to come up with this scheme? I promise it'll make you feel like a whole new... meh." The Sun Princess continued her struggle, even as her eyes began to water in pain. At long last, however, there was no more fighting back. Insatiable curiosity had worked its way through Celestia's brain, forcing her head upwards and her eyes open. She gazed into the mirror's surface. A very cute white Alicorn filly stared back at her. It was significantly shorter than Luna, maybe about half as tall, and looked the equivalent of a young foal, complete with a few obvious pudges of lingering baby fat. Its tail and mane looked like a rainbow, flowing independently of any wind. The colours didn't stay still, but shifted and blended into each other in an erratic, yet strangely beautiful pattern. A sun-shaped cutie mark adorned both of the pony's flanks, a surprising trait for one so young. It was a dead ringer for Celestia as a filly. In fact, it was Celestia as a filly. Celestia stared at her new reflection, her jaw half dislocated from such a sudden drop. Her eyes had receded almost all the way back into her skull, while every muscle twisted and tightened in horror. There was no more denying it. Her sister had somehow made her regress thousands of years, all the way back to her earliest memories. They weren't exactly happy memories either. In fact, the first time she saw this face was when she was shouting at some frogs to start evolving already. Her head turned towards Luna, her voice creaking and cracking from mortifying horror. "Luna? What did you do?" Luna gave her sister a quick, rather forceful hoof to the head. "Oh, you know, I just age-regressed my little sister using one of the most forbidden spells in pony history. It's not too different from what we usually do." But why?" Luna jumped away from Celestia, her eyes narrowing as her face scrunched into her sister's. Celestia reared onto her haunches, just trying not to make an embarrassing scene even worse. "Because I'm sick of being the little sister. I'm sick of every pony looking over my work and giving you all the credit. You, the pony so cold-hearted that she sent her only sister to the moon for 1,000 years!" The sheer terror in the filly's face was quickly noticed by Luna herself. The rage in the princess's face gradually dimmed into a smirk. "You know, at first I didn't think it would work this well. I mean, I was a baby when you were this young, so I never really got a good look at you. But now that it's all said and done, I have to say—" She grabbed the unwilling Celestia in one foreleg and started rubbing the top of her head vigorously with her free hoof. "I never expected you to be this adorable!" As the humiliation conga continued, Celestia felt something she hadn't experienced in many, many centuries. For the first time since she could remember, her body seethed with raw, unfiltered anger, and all of it was targeted at her current tormentor. The very sister she regretted banishing, the same one she had risked her favourite student and closest thing to a real friend for, not only had turned her into a small filly, but was now giving her a noogie. She threw up her hooves, fighting back against her sister's seemingly increased might all she could. She managed to push away the offending foreleg, or more accurately, Luna got tired and decided to stop. Unfortunately, that still left her in a bear hug. All four hooves pushed against Luna's body, but the force of Celestia's body wasn't enough to dislodge the leg. "Let me go this instant!" Luna responded by tightening her death grip on the filly. Celestia's face was starting to turn a mishmash of red and blue. "Look at you, still acting like you have some kind of authority. That is the most adorable thing I've ever seen." Celestia continued her futile struggle, pushing against Luna's grip with all her, substantially reduced, might. Her commands were gradually turning into pleas. "Luna, please stop this! I'm your sister! Sisters don't hurt each other!" Luna chuckled at Celestia's words. "Ah, yes, you are my sister. My very little sister, far too young to be worrying about all those big pony worries. Don't worry, you'll be out of that nasty old throne room soon enough." Celestia immediately ceased her assault. She looked up at Luna in puzzlement. "What?" "My little spell has made a complete joke out of you, sister. Once I show you to Equestria at large, they will laugh you right out of office. And with you out of the way, I can take Equestria for myself. And there will be changes, I guarantee you. First thing I'll do is finally get rid of that blasted sun once and for all. All will hail the new Empress of the Night. Ha 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 ha!" The last words were punctuated with a laugh that may have lacked Nightmare Moon's overwhelming ham, but nonetheless echoed the cries of a tyrant in the making. Celestia grit her teeth together, her body shaking with righteous fury at being tricked for so long. "That's it!" Celestia dunked her head down and back up again in one swift motion, effectively head-butting Luna right in the nose. The blue Alicorn yelped and let go of the squirming filly, clutching her stinging muzzle while muttering some very inappropriate curses for a princess. You stupid filly! I should have known you'd be a brat as a kid. When I get my hooves on you, I'll—" Celestia spun around in midair, landing on her hooves. Her horn was aimed squarely at Luna's face in a matter of moments. The filly's body shook with a terrible fury as the horn tip began to glow. The Moon Princess's eyes grew 2 sizes in an instant, her horn throwing up every magical defense she could think of. She wasn't lying about not knowing Celestia at that age. If she even had a small percentage of her former power, it would definitely be enough to at least blast her across the room, if not through the wall. Celestia's horn began to spark, and then died out. The Sun Princess grimaced and tried again, throwing every bit of energy she had into one giant burst, only to have a tiny light fizzle out before dumping the exhausted filly on the floor. Luna strode back forward, tapping Celestia's minuscule horn with her hoof. "Oh, what's wrong, Sally Welly? Is your horn too whittled to do big pony magic?" Slowly but surely, Celestia pulled herself back up. Her eyes were burning with a passion neither had seen nor felt for 1,000 years. "I don't care if my powers are gone. I don't care if I'm half your size. I'm still a princess of Equestria, and it's my duty to protect my subjects from all threats. even if it means harming my own flesh and blood. I'll live up to my obligations. Now surrender!" Luna let out a small sigh. "I'm sorry, sister. I'd hoped to raise you as my little sister, maybe let you be co-ruler again some day. But now I can see you'll be a problem. You could raise an army and have me overthrown, or go complaining to the elements of harmony and re-banish me for another 1,000 years. No, you're just another problem I need to solve." As Luna continued her advance, Celestia could feel her resolve slipping. She lowered herself as close to the floor as possible. "Luna, please, I promise you I won't do anything to upset you. Just let me go." By now Luna was directly in front of Celestia, glaring over her like a vengeful demon. She raised her right hoof, angling its edge right over Celestia's head. "There is no other way. We knew it would come to this the day we met. And with your death, Equestria will be mine." The princess's strength broke completely. She curled herself into a small ball, ready for whatever fate her now evil sister had in store. "No," she whimpered. "It can't end like this. Not like this." Luna's hoof plunged downwards and donked Celestia on the nose. "Gotcha!"